I'm impressed that there's even a choir in the show as well. Concerning the music to Civilization 4, what do you think of this music?
Well, I mean, it's fantastic. Civilization 4 was composed by a dear friend of mine, Christopher Tin. And what we did is I took a couple of his songs that he had done for Civilization 4 and kind of arranged them together. And then for the PBS special, we did a special choir arrangement where we had the original soloist, vocalist, and we brought in a second guy, and they kind of play off each other. And it's really, I mean, it's one of these pieces where when you hear it in the show, it's instant goosebumps. And if you've never heard it before, it's one of those songs where you like it the first time you hear it, which is kind of rare, right? It's one of those types of songs. In fact, the amazing part about it, though, is that song won a Grammy Award, and it was the very first time that music from a video game had won a Grammy Award, and that happened last year. So we're really proud of that, and it's a fabulous, fantastic. I mean, it's kind of Lion King-esque. It's got a ethnic thing, and the words though are the Lord's Prayer in Swahili. That's what the lyrics translate to. So it's just a very uplifting song and a great piece of music.
When people see the show live in places like Montreal, are they going to be able to hear the soloists and the choir?
Yeah, well, so in Montreal, we're going to have, we're going to have the orchestra on stage and absolutely a choir. We have orchestra and choir in every single show we do, and Montreal is a special place for us and for the show. We've played all over Canada for the last 7 years, and I can tell you we've gone to Montreal twice in the past, and for some reason the Montreal audiences are always the loudest and the most passionate, and I mean literally the walls kind of shake and they pound on the ground, and it's a really fantastic event. But this year is going to be really amazing because we're in a brand new venue that we've never played. We're really going for it because we've always sold out all of our shows in Montreal. So this year we're going for it, and we're playing with the big boys now, and we're going to be playing at the Bell Center, which is just unbelievable. I mean, talk about the tradition of the Montreal Canadiens and all the biggest acts. When they come to Montreal, they'll play the Bell Center. So we're just so honored to be invited to be at the Bell Center this year, and we're looking forward to it. So we're going to pull out all the stops for this one. In Montreal, by the way, it's the hotbed of game development in Canada and in this whole region. So you got Ubisoft, so games like Assassin's Creed and the newest versions of Prince of Persia, the game I worked on, but the newer version are all done right there in Montreal. Electronic Arts, I mean, there's over 10,000 game makers and people in the industry just in the Montreal area. And so what you'll get at the show is not only Video Games Live, but I invite a lot of these folks out to the show. So, when we do things like the meet and greet and things like that, you're not only going to meet the game composers and soloists and things from the show, performers, but also we're bringing in all the biggest and best game designers from the region to be a part of that.
What can people expect to see as soon as they enter the venue in Montreal?
Yeah, well, we have a whole pre-show festival that we open up 90 minutes before the show. And this is, it's a bunch of events, for example, because again, interactivity plays a big role in the show. So during some of the pre-show events, for example, we have a costume contest. So people come dressed up, and we get hundreds of people. They dress up as their favorite video game character. And anyone who dresses up for the costume contest, we bring them on stage at the beginning of the show, and the audience decides who the best costume is. The audience decides by applause. And just the creativity that goes into it. And I think it's just fantastic. It just goes to show how passionate people are about video games and such.
So people are being entertained even before the show starts.
Oh, absolutely. Like you said, 90 minutes before. We have a Guitar Hero competition, and the winner of the Guitar Hero competition comes up on stage during the show, and I'll be playing real guitar, live guitar along with them. They're playing guitar here on the screen, and the symphony is playing along with us. So in the PBS special, we did the song Sweet Emotion from Aerosmith. And
you have a special connection to Aerosmith.
I do. Steven Tyler, the lead singer from Aerosmith, and that American Idol guy now. People think of him as American Idol now, but yeah, his real name is Steven Tallarico. He's a cousin of mine. So, which is one of the reasons why we picked Aerosmith for the thing. Yes, we're very good. You're very good that you knew that. Clearly, you've been on my Wikipedia page, So this year around in Montreal, though, we're going to do a Foo Fighters song. So I'm gonna kind of let that out. That's a PBS exclusive that we're going to be doing the Pretender from the Foo Fighters. So now everyone who's watching PBS, they can get a head start and they can start practicing now, because the person who gets the highest score during the pre-show event will be the person that comes on stage to win a big prize if they score a certain amount of points. So.
Well, you produced your recorded program, Video Games Live, specifically for PBS.
That's right.
Why was that important for you to do?
You know, what's great is, PBS, I think, has a lot of the same mission that my mission is with Video Games Live. There's not a lot of TV stations out there that'll show symphonic stuff, right? That show, MTV has their, other stations have their things and this and that. But where else can you go to get the highest produced concerts and shows? I mean, what an honor for us, to be on PBS, the station when I was growing up, which had all of the most artistic and highest regarded material and concerts and events were on PBS, and and there's not a lot of that out there on television. If you want to see stuff like that these days, you normally have to buy a Blu-ray or a DVD or get on the internet or this and that. But for television, there is no higher regarded station for this type of content that we're doing. And the mission to, what's great about PBS is you have your Sesame Streets and electric companies for the younger kids, and then you have your kind of science type of stuff, and for maybe the folks in their 20s, 30s, 40s, and then the parents and the grandparents are there. It really is, and those are the same people who come to our show. We get a lot of the grandparents taking their grandkids to the symphony for the first time. We get a lot of the parents who are my age, 44, who are now having kids who grew up on video games, and they're into the technology and the science and the PlayStation 3 and the all the Xbox and the Nintendo, and you get that, and you get the young kids who devour video games. So that whole audience is the same audience that we find on PBS. But what an honor. I mean, again, it really is. I mean, we're up there, you say the three tenors, and they have the Pavarottis and all these amazing, and Sting and Sir Elton John and now video games, now Video Games Live. So it was an honor for us. We were just so excited to be a part of this with y'all.